Hey everyone, it's Emily and I want to introduce you to my Devil's Garden Mustangs. Now if you have already watched my video about Rafiki, then these are the three Mustangs that I talked about. Everyone, meet Rohan, Brego, and Valiente. I purchased Rohan, Brego, and Valiente on January 3rd, 2023 during the USDA Forest Service's Double Devil's Garden, or Devil's Garden for short, adoption sales event. The USDA Forest Service is responsible for managing the nation's wild horses and burros on National Forest System lands. Devil's Garden Plateau Wild Horse Territory is the largest wild horse territory managed by the Forest Service in size and wild horse population. Now, I had actually been interested in getting a wild horse from Devil's Garden even before ever getting our first wild horses from the BLM. I really liked the horses I had seen there over the years. I liked their builds and their personalities. I had been planning on participating in the Devil's Garden event for several months, and this was the first event that I had seen where there was a pickup location on the East Coast. So I really felt like this was the perfect chance to finally purchase one. I had scoured the Devil's Garden Wild Horse Corral's Facebook page for potential horses, sent in my application and all the forms in preparation for the event. When the day of the event came, I emailed my selection form with 11 horses I had picked out in order of preference as soon as the event started, which was 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It was almost torturous waiting to hear back, and because of the number of people that ended up participating in the event, I had to wait a couple of days to receive an email back about which horses from my list were available. When I finally heard back, I was elated and disappointed all at the same time. I had not gotten my top 2 picks, but my 3rd, 4th, and 6th picks were available to me, along with a few others from my selection list of 11 horses. Tag number 5634 was my 3rd pick. He was a 10-year-old 15-hand liver chestnut. The corral's notes stated that he was dominant with other horses, but calm with caretakers. His video showed him trotting out of the chute, taking care when he neared the banner on the panel. He also had a name given to him by the corrals. It was Theo. Tag number 5646 was my 4th pick. He was a 13-year-old 14-3 15-hand bright red sorrel. The corral note stated that he was very calm and his video showed how quiet he was when he walked out of the chute. He was also given a name by the corrals. It was Rohan. Tag number 5559 was my 6th pick. He was a 10-year-old 15-3 bay gelding. He had no notes in his listing, and when I watched his video, he practically shot out of the chute like a bullet. It took several weeks for Devil's Garden to finalize everything, because there were weather considerations, making sure the horses were prepared to travel, health certificates to obtain, and coordination with the various pickup locations that the horses were requested to go to. I chose to pick up my horses in Huntingdon, Pennsylvania. The road trip from Virginia to Pennsylvania was a 10-hour round trip. On March 9th, we woke up very early at 2 o'clock in the morning so that we could get to Pennsylvania before lunch traffic. Sarah decided to stay home to take care of the horses instead of going on this trip, so my parents traveled with me so that we could take turns driving. The part of Pennsylvania that we went to was really pretty. We had even passed by one of their state lakes, which was absolutely gorgeous. Once we made it to the stables, it was time to meet my horses.
We're here. Hi.
The sorrel, has this halter. He can move this halter down around his neck. Oh. But I guess as soon as you can get it off, get it off. These are your 3, right?
They are. Hi, y'all.
When I sent in my selection form, I had requested that the horses be haltered. The halters were nice and sturdy, but they were a bit too big for Rohan and Valiente because they have smaller heads. Rohan's halter had slipped down off his nose during transport. It was then time to load up and get their paperwork. was loaded up, we headed back home.
Well, we're going home. We got them in the back. Woo! They're big. They're heavy. I'm excited.
When I called Sarah to let her know we were on our way, I learned that Sarah had experienced one of the most unexpected but hilarious mornings that any of us could have ever imagined. When Sarah went outside to take care of the horses that morning, she discovered that Rafiki had broke out of his pen and had gotten in with our herd of domesticated horses. Now we keep our Mustangs in separate pens away from our domesticated horses until they are gentled so that we are able to work with them individually. Well, a couple of our mares were in heat and Rafiki decided that he was interested in joining the herd. When Sarah saw him, he was terrifying the other horses. Our geldings were trying to keep the mares away from him and he was trying to claim himself some females. He was even trying to mount them. Sarah was absolutely livid. She and my brother were able to lure him back to his pen though. When we got home from Pennsylvania, it was dark and it wasn't very easy to unload the horses.
Hey, shut it, shut it.
Shut it, shut it, shut it, shut it, shut it, shut it.
Did you hear me say
I
shut
was
it?
shutting it, and you bumped it. My fingers hurt.
Come on now.
That got wedged in there, sir.
Well,
That's a big horse. My goodness. Like clockwork.
After we had gotten everyone sorted and into their own pen, we left them to settle in. I had already spent some time after I had first bought them in January to come up with their names. So when we brought them home, I had been calling them by their respective names for a while. I named tag number 5546, the bright red sorrel, Rohan from the movie Lord of the Rings. It means red-haired, which is perfect for him since he is a bright red sorrel, and it goes perfectly well with his corral name, Rojo. I named tag number 5559, the 15-3 hand-baked gelding, Brego. It was a name suggestion by my brother, and it just seemed to fit him perfectly, as his namesake was also a bay horse in the movie Lord of the Rings. Brego means prince, lord, or ruler. And for tag number 5634, the liver chestnut, I named him Valiente. I wanted a strong name for him since he seemed so dominant, but also that would reflect the Spanish influence I could see in his build. So Valiente means brave, which I feel is fitting for him based on the definition for brave, which means ready to face and endure danger and pain, showing courage. Well, that is the story of how I got my Devil's Garden Mustangs. I hope you all enjoyed this video and getting to meet Rohan, Brego, and Valiente. Please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to click the notification bell to be notified of new videos. Thanks for watching. Bye!